How are you guys? Technically you found the goats, not me. He loves you guys, don't worry. The master jerry-rigger is fixing my jerry-rigged shed. You like their shed? Don't you, ladies? So when we got our goats this fall, it was kind of like a great deal, but we had to hurry up and get them before the people that were selling them were leaving to go, I think, to Europe for the fall. And so Dustin was working lots, so I threw together this, we called it the goat shack, which was a bunch of pallets and random plywood that we had. And I'm no carpenter. So it was completely falling apart. The horse has been trying to break into it, which if you have goats, you know it's a big deal. You do not want horses to eat goat feed. So Dustin to the rescue, had a couple days, so he's fixing the goat shack. And then maybe after that we will get tin on the horse shed. But for now, canvas works. Still have a bum leg, but we need to make it to the greenhouse. We're almost there. We're so close. We made it to the greenhouse, and the thermometer says 40 degrees. I think it's like 20 outside. Okay, we made it to the greenhouse. That was a lot of work with a bad knee, trying to go through like half frozen snow. So, Mama of the Wild Ones on YouTube, and she's on Instagram also, challenged us to answer 10 questions about our homestead. So here we go. So question number 1 is, what got you into homesteading? And we're gonna go ahead and blame that on becoming a mother. It's the kids' fault. Usually it's my fault for everything, but this time I'm blaming the kids. When we first had kids, I started to pay more attention to what we were feeding them, and what we were eating, and kind of what we were exposing our bodies to. And so naturally I started gardening, trying to grow some of our own produce, snacks for the kids. We started with 2 little raised beds at our house in town. And I also worked for a greenhouse, and that's kind of where my love for plants started. And so it just keeps morphing every year. We have decided we want to be as self-sufficient as we can, and we just kind of keep working towards that goal. So we got into it because of the kids, because seriously, who would not want their kids to grow up like this? It's so much fun. The kids are constantly going on adventures, and we learn so much living this homesteading lifestyle. Okay, number 2 is, what is something you want to add to your homestead in 2020? And that is working on our meat production. So my husband hunts whitetail on our 25 acres here, but we really want to learn to produce some of our own meat here on the homestead. And so we first purchased 2 boar does to work on starting a meat goat herd, and they will be able to be bred this coming fall. So we got them really young. They were bottle babies, and so this fall we will breed them, and we'll have kids next spring hopefully. So that is our main priority. We also purchased a meat rabbit, and we hope to start that, but she's kind of turned into a pet now, so we'll see how that goes. Number 3 is, what is the most difficult lesson that you've learned while homesteading? That's kind of a hard one. We've had a couple crazy years since we started homesteading, with things going wrong, but I'd say the hardest lesson for me to learn was learning to not bite off more than I could chew, especially with having kids. Our kids are our top priority. We homeschool, and that always has to come first. And so it was really hard for me to learn how to manage the homeschool, the house, and all the homestead projects I wanted to get done. So that was the hardest, was just learning how to manage my time. Okay, it's chilly out here, so we're gonna get our seed trays that I came out here for, and we'll finish this up inside while I start some onion seeds. Okay, so we're inside. Sorry if it's a little noisy. The kids are watching a movie upstairs, my husband's running a saw outside, and my washing machine's going. But I'm gonna work on sowing some onion seeds in my trays here, and I will finish answering the 10 questions about our homestead. Okay, so number 4 is, what is your favorite chore on the homestead? I think my favorite chore is probably collecting eggs, and that's strange, and half the time I send my kids out because they enjoy it too. But chickens were kind of our first homestead thing that we got besides gardens. And so it was always just really fun to go outside and collect eggs, and it was such a surprise to see how many you got, how big they were, what color they were. And so I think that is still one of my favorites. Number 5 is, what is your favorite thing to grow? And that's really hard because we grow a whole lot of stuff for our market garden here. I'm sowing onion seeds, and onions are kind of fun just for the fact that I get to start them so early here. And they're really an easy crop to grow. But I think my favorite thing is probably peppers. And it doesn't really matter to me if they're sweet or spicy, but they're just a really fun thing to grow because it's another thing I can start early. But they are always so green and lush all throughout the summer for us. And it was actually probably our best-selling crop last year through our farm stand. And we supplied quite a few peppers for our CSA cooperative that we did last season. I just love peppers. Okay, I needed a break for my knee. So we're gonna sit down, and number 6 is, what is your favorite thing about the homesteading community? And I would say how helpful everyone is. We've just recently started YouTube, and it's been amazing to see how many people are willing to share tips and ideas, and kindly critique your videos to help you out. People are just super helpful, and even besides YouTube, we have so many local homesteaders that have offered advice when dealing with animals and are willing to let us come on their farms to see how their animal pens and things like that are set up. People are just so helpful and willing to teach you and really just share ideas. So it's really a great community to be a part of. Okay, number 7 is, what is your favorite meal to make? And I think mine is stir fry. We do a lot of stir fry and just random any vegetables we have around with some kind of meat, and it's a little bit different every time. I don't like to follow recipes. I like to just wing it. Even with my bread, I like to just wing it. So I just like trying different stuff. All right, what is your favorite holiday is number 8. We don't usually get very gung-ho about lots of, we call them Hallmark holidays, but I really enjoy Christmas. We usually designate Christmas as our time that we see all of our family, and we usually just have a really good time, and it's not about all the presents, it's just really fun to hang out with family. Okay, number 9 is your homestead where you intend on staying permanently? And honestly, we don't know yet. Dustin, my husband, and I have we've both been hearing the mountains calling. And we kind of want to spend part of our summer, we're thinking about taking a month vacation this summer and going out west, and kind of exploring western Montana and northern Idaho, and see if possibly we would want to live out there. So I think even our family that we've mentioned this to thinks that we're a little bit crazy for even considering a move out west. We both love our homestead here, and it really was everything that we were looking for. But we both kind of missed the adventure that we used to. Before we bought this homestead, we spent an entire summer kind of camping and being in nature, and we had like no responsibilities, and it was really fun with our kids. And we're just realizing that our kids are only small once, and they're already growing so fast that we just want to leave our options open. So we'll see what will come of the mountains. So finally, number 10 is, what homesteading channels do you enjoy watching and learning from? I like to watch YouTube to kind of relax. Like if I wake up early in the morning before the kids are up, I kind of drink coffee and watch YouTube. And I'm trying to get better about finding more channels to follow. But a couple of my favorites are Roots and Refuge, of course. Who doesn't love to see Jess just giddy happy about the world and simple things like snow falling. I can't even remember what video of hers that was, but she was so happy to see snow. She's just pretty authentic and it's fun. So Roots and Refuge. I also really enjoy watching the Elliott Homestead just because they do such a good job of making everything just beautiful and calm, and I don't have a lot of that in my house. So I hope that these 10 questions will help you get to know us a little bit better. Dustin's a little camera shy, and he's finally done working on the goat shack. So I should probably go work on making some dinner. I finally got all the onions sewed. So I'll see you guys next time.
You think it's